Welcome, Mr. Mehta. We are deeply honored that you agreed to answer our 3 questions. And the first question to you is, what motivates you? What is the force that drives you?
I think the answer is very simple. As a writer, my duty is to tell the truth. The great Czech poet Jaroslav Seifert once said, "For other people, not telling the truth can be a tactical maneuver, but a writer who is not telling the truth is lying." So in all my work, whether it's fiction or non-fiction or screenplays or essays, what I'm after is that elusive thing called the truth. And I pursue the truth with everything I have at all the talents that I have of collecting data and doing extensive research and then collating it into a form which provides the truth, provides the information, along with pleasure for the reader, because the reader is entitled not just to information but to pleasure, and the truth will reach the reader much more effectively if it is couched in pleasurable language.
The second question is, how may governments worldwide ensure the economic upswings have a positive effect on the poorest in the country?
Well, I think first the governments have to convince the richest in the country that it is in their interest that the economic upswings, the fruits of the economic upswings, be distributed to the poor. The richest in any country hold the balance of political power, and it is they who, in many cases, such as the United States, prevent the benefits of economic upswings to be redistributed in an equitable fashion to the poor. And so what this creates is tremendous social tension. And take India as an example. Unless the fruits of liberalization are more justly distributed across the country, there's going to be an explosion within the next 10 or 15 years.
And the third question is, what is your task as a writer facing the world's problems, such as poverty?
I think my task as a writer was defined by the great Russian poet Anna Akhmatova, who has a section called "Instead of a Preface" to her great poem Requiem, where she talks about the years of the Stalinist terror. Her son and husband were imprisoned in a giant prison in Siberia, and she talks about waiting outside the prison in the cold with thousands of mothers waiting to see their children. And Akhmatova was well known in the Soviet Union, but her poems had been banned, so people carried her poems orally. And one of the women in the vast crowd outside the prison in the winter came up to Akhmatova with lips blue from the cold and asked her, "Can you describe this? Can you describe this scene?" And Akhmatova said yes. And then she writes, "The shadow of a smile passed over the ghost of her face," of the woman. So it was enough for that woman that Akhmatova could bear witness. And that is my task as a writer, to bear witness to her terrible times.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.